Morning. Welcome to Breaking Dawn.
So, good morning and welcome to Breaking Dawn this morning. It is Wednesday. My name is Stephen Reese, and we are here on a morning where we have to catch our flight, so we're keeping things tight. You see what I did there, fellas? Flight and tight. I a poet, you know. All right, so I'll tell you what. We have a full show this morning. We have Behind the Badge. We will be joined by Acting Sergeant Greenwich. We have Pastor John, that's second hour business. In the first hour here, we have the scientific conference that is taking place from July 11th to the 13th at the Hyatt. And we have Dr. Marissa Nimrod and Mrs. Stacy Christopher. They're going to come tell us about that. And it's specific to cancer and cancer treatment and the inclusion of cannabis or medicinal marijuana. All right? As it relates to treating for cancer, there's going to be a lot of information that will be shared. It's not only about that, but that is one of the aspects of it. And I think we need to open up the door to treatment like that because, cancer is something that, we have so many restrictions in Trinidad and Tobago that does not allow for treatment like that, or at least I don't know of any legislation or anything that has been passed to allow for treatment like that, but we'll find out more from Dr. Nimrod when she speaks with us in this first hour. In the first hour as well, we do have two of my good brethren, Daddy Chinese and Del Toro. We are in the month of July, and being in the month of July, guess what? Christmas in July. So Christmas in July has started. That brings a lot of parang and Christmas sale in July and all kind of thing. And Del Toro, Daddy Chinese and the crew, they have this event happening on the 13th of July. It's called Jingle in July, and it takes place on the 13th of July down at the Canboulay Restaurant and Lounge. We'll find out more about that event in this first hour as well. Just before we get things started, though, I want to just clarify something from yesterday. Yesterday, I read the headline where the court awarded $1.6 million to the ex-Equal Opportunity Commission CEO over the contract non-renewal. I don't know if you could put up that for me. Right. So yesterday, I read the article and we were making comparisons, and we were talking a lot of the politics and things in the Senate and people being dismissed and right. Now, I want to make it very, very clear this morning. This matter was the ex-CEO versus the office of the Attorney General. So I want to be clear on that because sometimes we say the office of the Attorney General and feel as the actual person that holds the post as Attorney General that the matter was against. And though it was in 2021, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Faris Al-Rawi would have been the Attorney General at the time, the matter was not against Faris Al-Rawi, but it was against the office of the Attorney General. So I just wanted to clarify that this morning because somebody saw me yesterday and they were asking me about it, and I had to clarify to them it was the office of the Attorney General that the matter was brought against, not the person holding that post of Attorney General. All right? Now, interestingly, here we are on a morning that we got to go to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, right? And a clip was sent to me. It's been circulating. I've had it since Monday. And this morning I decided to air it because I just thought that it was very interesting that the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines spoke recently about trade with Trinidad and Tobago. And some people may think that he went too far. I don't think he did. I think he's speaking factual. It's very factual in what he's saying. And I think we need to reflect on what he's saying, and we need to put things in place where our money is concerned. Run me the clip with Ralph Gonsalves.
Diego annually in excess of US $65 million. We pay in hard foreign currency for visible exports from Trinidad, mainly petroleum products and manufactured goods. But our sister CARICOM country cannot find less than a miserly $4 million US in foreign exchange to pay for our agricultural products. This is absolutely unfair and ridiculous. Our traders are paid in Trinidad and Tobago dollars, which are not convertible outside of Trinidad and Tobago. In Trinidad, they have to use the money to buy goods in Trinidad if they want to make some money on the back end. If they bring up the Trinidad and Tobago money, it may as well they bring up monopoly money.
So the question of the day, did the Prime Minister of St. Vincent...
So that is what the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines had to say as it relates to Trinidad and Tobago money. Just recently, the guy who came in the end, he apparently was reviewing the video and he was asking the question, did the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines go too far? And my answer is no. I don't think he went too far. I'll answer that question for you, my brother. He didn't go too far. What he is saying there is the absolute truth. And the fact that we are doing trade with St. Vincent and the Grenadines and they are paying us in US dollars and we are paying them in TT dollars, which have no value outside of Trinidad and Tobago. And I think one of the reasons for that is that the central bank, well, I don't know if things will change now with the new governor of central bank taking over, but there is this thing where one of the problems was that the central bank does not buy back the TT currency. So that is why nobody don't want TT dollars outside of Trinidad and Tobago. Now, I am saying we have to do something about that. Trinidad and Tobago used to be, or ought to be, or can still be, or has the potential to still be the giant of CARICOM. We have been in the past, and over the last decade or so, we have fallen to the side because of several different things that we won't go into now, because I don't have time to go into it now. But the main takeaway here is that we cannot be the powerhouse of the Caribbean, which we should be, because we like the little America of the Caribbean. We have such a diverse society here. You know what I mean? We come like the America of the Caribbean. But we cannot be that if our dollar has no value outside of Trinidad and Tobago. It's only in Trinidad and Tobago you could use Trinidad and Tobago dollars. Nobody want to see that outside. Why has our dollar been allowed to deteriorate like that and hold no value, the value itself? You understand? So things have to change where that is, as it relates to that. And we cannot be doing trade with one of our CARICOM islands, and they are trading in US dollars and we are paying them in TT. So that foreign exchange issue as well has to be addressed. But in terms of Ralph Gonsalves, I don't think he went too far. I think he is the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. He is seeing that this is what is taking place in terms of trade, and it is not fair to his island, and he is stating a fact that you cannot pay my people in Trinidad and Tobago dollars and it has no value outside of Trinidad and Tobago. There is nothing we could do with our money. Right? I think nothing is wrong with what he said. All right? But Ralph, we come in, we landing this morning. We come in to cover the hottest carnival in the Caribbean, Vincy Mas. All right? So maybe we go bunks up. Maybe go bunks up. All right? I know there's a man that's be all on the ground and all kind of thing. All right? So love in the house. We come in this morning. Easy, Ralph. All right, we go deal with that monopoly money issue. Is he call it monopoly money? You know, I think that's why the fella asks. But it's true. It's true. If you can't use this outside of TNT, if this holds no value outside, you know what I had to do with this? I can't even go to St. Vincent and the Grenadines for this. I like this. Ashamed to pull this out in the airport. Ashamed. And I'm talking about Piarco Airport. Like when you reach at the airport, you're ashamed of like you're ashamed to use TT dollars. Faucet are no value. Come on, man. You have to do better than that, man. All right? So hopefully the new administration, the new governor of central bank, the new minister of finance, everybody with are dealing with things like that, trade and industry. Hopefully something, I mean, they come up with something where our dollar does hold a value throughout the Caribbean, because we don't use EC, and a lot of the islands do. And who don't use EC is US dollars and so on and so forth. So, with that, just before we take the first break and we get to Dr. Nimrod, I want to remind you about Keolic. So we got the Keolic range of products, and they are available at all pharmacies and health stores across the country. And when we're talking about the Keolic range of products, we're talking about the Keolic Cleanse and Digestion, the Keolic Blood Pressure Health, the Keolic Cholesterol Health, the Keolic Total Heart Health, and the Keolic Circulation Health. And they're all proven to be effective in sustaining healthy levels, and all includes the aged garlic extract formulation. Now, there's also the Keo Green Powdered Drink Mix and the Keodophilus Probiotics. All right, and all of them use the aged garlic extract, and this helps in supporting cardiovascular, immune and gut health, and much more. So pick up any one of the Keolic range of products, like I said, at a pharmacy or health store near you, and you can WhatsApp 728-0338 for more details on that. Also, we have Chef Shiraz, the new flyer, not the old one. So we got Chef Shiraz. Chef has several courses that he's doing throughout the July-August period. And as a matter of fact, he has the food, restaurant, and catering workshop, the summer kids cooking class, the certificate in culinary arts, the baking and pastry, and the creative international cuisine cooking course. All right? And these courses run from as early as the 21st of July all the way down to the 9th of August. All right? So to get in contact with Chef and find out more and get yourself registered or your children registered, 372-4639 or 737-5097. Those are the numbers you could call or WhatsApp if you want to get in contact with Chef. And finally, I also want to remind you about Elders. That's right. Elders classes, man. So if you're not happy with your child's end of term results, don't worry. You can enroll them in Elders Vacation Bootcamp classes and get them serious about their education and improve those grades for the new school term. Also, Elders has the 8 weeks conversational Spanish class, and that is open to students who just finished SEA. Also, Form 1 to 5 students and adults, and you can call them to get yourself registered for those classes on 627-8642 or 715-5480 is your WhatsApp number. That is 715-5480. You could also visit them at 48A Pembroke Street in Port of Spain. That is Elders. With that, we're going to take our first break this morning. When we come back, Dr. Nimrod and Mrs. Stacey Christopher, they will join us, and we will get a conversation going on the scientific conference that starts at the Hyatt from Friday the 11th to the 13th of July. Stay tuned.
To strengthen your immune system, you need to nourish your body with foods rich in antioxidants. Exercise regularly and build your immunity with supportive nutrients. That's why the experts at Jameson created products for immune support made with pure ingredients. For 100 years, Jameson has helped take care of you and your family. At Jameson, your wellness will always be our goal. Jameson, here for your health.
My parents' generation grew up with Royal Castle. From the first restaurant in 1968, when that distinctive, tempting aroma hit the air. Like never before, fried chicken with a special blend of local seasonings and a one-of-a-kind flavor down to the bone. Today, Royal Castle still have that same delicious taste, and I love it too. And the kids, they have more to enjoy. For me, the Castle is more than just nice food. It's we own, part of me and you, and is the real flavor of TNT.
Welcome to South Point Hotel Barbados, your gateway to a luxury oasis of tranquility, comfort, and impeccable service. Nestled along the popular south coast of Barbados, South Point Hotel is a true haven for those seeking relaxation, rejuvenation, and unforgettable experiences. From the moment you arrive, you'll be enveloped by an ambiance of serenity that effortlessly blends with the stunning flora and fauna surrounding you. The accommodations are spacious, elegant, and thoughtfully designed to ensure maximum comfort. Each room offers a perfect retreat where you can unwind, rejuvenate, and be pampered with the exceptional service of attentive staff. Indulge in the extraordinary at Driftwood, the in-house restaurant, where culinary excellence meets coastal charm. Driftwood's menu is a celebration of fresh, local ingredients, expertly crafted to create a dining experience that will take your palate on a delightful gastronomic journey the Bajan way. Whether you're here to relax by the pool, enjoy a delicious meal, or explore the enchanting beaches nearby, every moment at South Point Hotel is crafted to exceed your expectations. Book your stay today and immerse yourself in the luxury oasis that South Point Hotel offers. Discover a destination where every detail is thoughtfully curated for your enjoyment. South Point Hotel Barbados, creating memories that last a lifetime. For reservations, email them at reservations@southpointhotelbarbados.com or call 1246-424-7744 or check out the website www.southpointbarbados.com.
Steel Force Caribbean Limited, number 47 Lot 6 Montu Trace in Pinal, is your newest choice for steel construction and fabrication, offering full services in engineering and architectural design, structural steel fabrication and erection, pipe details, storage tank details including fabrication of steel tanks and pipes, all set to API standards. They offer a wide range of services in residential, commercial, and industrial clients, and extend services to customers here in Trinidad and Tobago and across the Caribbean. So, give them a call at 490-2771 or 399-7590. Steel Force Caribbean Limited, number 47 Lot 6 Montu Trace in Pinal, reinventing the standard of how we handle steel.
Trinidad and Tobago, get ready to celebrate a legend and say thank you, Sparrow. This will be the ultimate tribute to the Calypso King of the world.
Education, education, this is the foundation.
Be part of an unforgettable night of music, memories, and magic as some of his younger proteges take the stage to honor and say thank you, Sparrow.
This is no time to say you are federating no more.
All happening Friday, July 25th at the iconic Grandstand, Queen's Park, Savannah. Showtime, 7:30 p.m. Tickets $300 and $250, but first edition tickets bought by Monday, June 30th cost $75 less.
For more info, call 491-1802.
Adams Optical, we care for your vision with everything from stylish frames, contact lenses, and sunglasses, starting at just $595, to advanced eye care services. We also diagnose and manage conditions like glaucoma and cataracts with our in-house ophthalmologist. Additional services include OCT, VFT, and cataract surgeries. Visit us at San Fernando, Chaguanas, or Rio Claro.
No time to waste this vacation. Join Elders Classes Vacation Bootcamp.
Our vacation program has a wide range of CSEC subjects. Also, this vacation, we have an 8 weeks conversational Spanish course. Tradition allows us at Elders to pass on what we know and what we love.
Drill them this vacation. No kicks. Join your batch.
Concerned about the safety and security of your property? Then look no further. At Electromatic Gate Systems, they specialize in fabrication of gates, fencing, and much more. They also provide remote control access for sliding and swing gates and garage doors for residential, commercial, and and industrial use. Have a design in mind? They can fabricate and motorize it into reality. Why choose them? They supply Italian-made motors backed by 10 years warranty, and you can ask about their lifetime warranty packages. Electromatic Gate Systems remains the sole authorized distributor for Profamnet throughout the Caribbean. Don't compromise your security. Contact them today at 333-GATE, that is 333-4283. Find them on Google, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, or visit their website at www.electromaticgates.com. Their team is standing by to assist.
All right, people, so welcome back to Breaking Dawn, and good morning once again to everybody joining us. And like I said, we have a busy morning this morning, and this is the first of many interviews that we're going to do this morning. And we have with us in studio, I want to say good morning to Dr. Marissa Nimrod and Mrs. Stacey Christopher, and they're here to tell us about the 13th Annual Scientific Conference that will start on Friday, the 11th of July, correct?
Yes, it is.
All right, brilliant. Now, this is going to be very interesting conversation, because I think something has been raised here and has come into discussion. We were talking off here a little while ago that I have been waiting to see implemented in terms of treatment for cancer, right? And I really don't hear the conversation taking place now. I'm not in the health sector, so I wouldn't know. But I know that throughout the world, a lot of advancements taking place in medicine and so on and so forth. So first off, Dr. Nimrod, tell us a little bit about the conference itself and what are the key issues that will be addressed at this conference.
Okay, well, thanks so much for the invitation to talk about something that's, our passion. So this year we're actually hosting the 13th CAHO Scientific Conference, because we're running at least 2 events at the same time. We're looking at innovation, access, and cancer, and how that relates, So every year we try to push the bar in terms of continuing medical education. We want persons out there to actually understand that cancer has so many new developments, and you don't have to battle it alone, which unfortunately still becomes a concern, for patients. Once they hear the big C word, everything disappears after that.
Yeah.
And they think, as I say, it's still a death sentence, it's still a taboo, we're still working on that. But for all the wonderful success stories that I've experienced here, and I've been home like at least 12, 15 years now, it's still amazing to see where we're going. So we try to get, obviously, the best of the best from around the world who will be giving information on topics that are related to any one of either the solid tumors, as we call them, like breast cancer, prostate cancer, colon. We look at blood disorders in terms of malignancies. We do pediatric or children's cancers. And then we also speak about things like supportive care, because it's really important to have care of the caregiver, and it's very much a team approach in terms of managing not just this disease, but I mean, this is my passion, but on the whole, the financial burdens or commitments associated with it, the mental health. Last year we did, navigating sexual intimacy, because it's all about persons, and we want persons to come in and see the topics and how this can help change their perspective, ask questions, and obviously everyone wants to live. That's the whole purpose of putting these meetings together, to take that information and help you to make a conscious and informed change towards your better health.
Yeah, because look, even recently on the issue of cancer, we see one of our colleagues, Inshan Ismail, who is also in the media. He has cancer, and there was an article where he spoke about how much money he spent, and it was in the hundreds of thousands. And I was saying on the program, I said, but if you're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on a treatment and it's not improving your life, or it's not getting rid of the disease or whatever it is that you're, right? Then what is the point in still spending the money? So that's the biggest mystery to me, is that, because I would expect if something is going to cost me $200,000 to $300,000, I expect the problem going to be solved for that kind of money, if you understand where I'm coming from. So it is expensive. I recently had, well, today actually is the funeral of an uncle of mine who passed away last week, Wednesday. I think it was pancreatic cancer that he and it just came up. It like there was no symptoms. It just hits you like that, which I did not know. I thought it's something that is gradual, and that you may so that you pick it up and you catch it early. But in his case, I think it was just sudden. So, what about those things in terms of identifying the problem of maybe having cancer from as the earliest stage possible, so that you could get, because the earlier the treatment, the better, right?
Of course.
Right.
Of course. So good questions, actually. So I'll probably speak to the first one. So when persons come in and they get diagnosed, right, as you said, screening is very important. So we want to get you in early so that we can identify and get you to an early stage. So normally we have 4 stages for cancer initially. So, stage 1, just very early disease, hasn't gone very far. Stage 2, a little further, some regional involvement. Stage 3, more mass or volume of cancer cells. And 4 is when it gets to another organ system. For example, breast gets the bone or brain, okay, so that's it. So when you get in earlier, then obviously we have more available treatment options for you, is definitely one. 2, we get to remove and drop your risk, because we call it debulking. We want to take out those cells and be able to take you as close as possible. As patients normally say, I'm cancer-free. Which again, we say living with cancer, because there's always that possibility for recurrence. But we want to say, again, get in early, get an early stage, so it becomes one of those things. But there are challenges, as with everything else. Sometimes there might be mutations, little stubborn cells that really don't want to respond to the treatment traditionally. So again, we put on another line and another line, till we actually get the correct match, if you want to put it like that, in terms of the cells we want to treat. Pancreatic cancer is also becoming more common. I've seen that. I've diagnosed treated a few recently, so.
And they say when you get that, I'm not coming back.
Well, I have seen one patient so far, but I mean, she has access. She lives in Europe on a clinical trial. She's stage 4, finished her FOLFIRINOX, so chemotherapy, and then she got into a trial, and right now she has no evidence of disease. But again, that's access in a different country, right? Here, most persons don't know. So for example, this foundation, SAPGA Foundation, has been doing a good job in terms of, pancreatic cancer awareness. And sometimes it's easy to say, hey, I should start checking my blood sugar. Sometimes that's a simple one in terms of checking your blood sugar. And we're treating you, we're giving you medications, and it's quite resistant, Is there something else that's going on if you're not responding to the treatments we're giving you? And then the pancreas sits in the abdominal cavity, so it depends on if it's actually head of the pancreas or if it's tail of the pancreas. If it's head and there's a blockage here, then chances are those patients normally would present with things like jaundice, yellowing of the eyes and the skins. They get very itchy, etc. Because again, the manifestations are much earlier. But if it's tail, there's so much room on the abdomen on the other side that they don't normally present early like that. And we don't just screen persons and say, we're just going to give you a random ultrasound for pancreatic cancer or to screen for pancreatic cancer. So, so it's one of those, where you continue to monitor for your regular, your heart, your blood sugar, etc. And then if something changes, we'll be able to pick up on that. But sometimes it's like, we call it an incidentaloma. Sometimes we find it, by accident on a CT scan.
Okay. And well, Stacey is with us here. I haven't spoken to Stacey yet. She hasn't said much. But Stacey, what is your role in this entire conference?
My role, morning everyone. My role in the conference is really to bring everything together.
Okay.
So as the event manager, we have a lot of persons in the background. We have, right now, we have a ball. We have the Survivors Ball. It is $500 per person. The thing is, it's at the Hyatt, right? So $500, we're talking about a cultural program, we're talking about a fashion show, we're talking about artists, we're talking about food, etc., right? So what we're trying to encourage people, as we all know, cancer is expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, Mr. Inchan, he was able to have access to
the funds to deal with that, yeah.
So what we're trying to do is encourage persons. Even if you're not coming, you want to sponsor someone. We have a lot of students who would be interested. a lot of persons who have probably had cancer, has a family member who have cancer, and so on. So what we're trying to encourage is persons to come, attend the different days. We have prices at $200 US for the doctors. We have $150 for the medical professionals, and then we have $120 for the rest of the general public. But we just want people to come, understand how cancer affects everyone, and come and support the initiative.
All right. And I see this is registration all-inclusive for 3 days?
Yes.
That's okay.
Yes.
Just explain that to me. The registration,
Marissa will
all-inclusive. When you say all-inclusive,
So all-inclusive means that when you come in, you have access to the conference. For persons who are applicable, they get continuing medical education credits, and that's 27.65 hours. That's a lot for 3 days. You're getting your coffee breaks, you're getting lunch, you're getting your conference bag, your magazine, and then we have lots of sponsors from Guardian Group. Our keynote speaker is from Harvard University, Dana Farber, so they're going to be with us. Who else again? Western Side, a lot of others. If you check the website, they're going to be listed.
Rush.
You know, yes, correct. So persons coming are going to be able to interact with these persons and see how are they making their contributions towards cancer prevention and control, and to pick up whatever paraphernalia they have as well, whether it's knickknacks, etc., or handouts. And then there's a cocktail going on. And then the one, I guess, that's exciting for us is that we're hosting our first medical cannabis workshop. So we're hoping that persons will come out and hear what the experts have to say from across the region. So.
medical cannabis. Let's just elaborate on that. No, because some years ago, right? Yeah. I saw a video. I think it was out of Italy, right, where they were using medicinal cannabis to treat for cancer. And the patients were saying that for some of them, they said that it is the only thing that works, that is actually working for them. So I know we have, like 10, 15 years ago. But nevertheless, no, we are with certain restrictions and all these other things, are way ahead. Way ahead.
We're not even in the competition.
And I mean, we are at the point here where, okay, marijuana, we know the history of marijuana to a point, right? But we also know that marijuana does have medicinal values. So in terms of cancer treatment and cancer patients and the medicinal marijuana, where are we in Trinidad and Tobago right now in terms of that being an option for treatment, and what needs to be done to get us to the point where we need to be?
A lot needs to be done.
Stacey said a lot. Like a lot.
No, we have a lot of work to do. Go ahead, Marissa.
Yeah, we do, and I guess you'll speak to that as well. So this started last year, actually, from what do you call this thing? I went to a concert called Cannabliss in St. Vincent. Cannabliss.
In St. Vincent?
This is where it started.
We actually headed to St. Vincent and the Grenadines today.
It's coming up. It's coming back up October 2nd and 3rd. So
all right. You seem to be very excited. All right, nice. Very, very excited. All right, cool. But we headed to St. Vincent and the Grenadines today.
Yes,
yeah.
Right, so I attended this conference in St. Vincent, and I was like, kind of blessed though. So it was actually broken down into different sections, again, based on education. So there were workshops for, traditional farmers or cultivators. We normally, refer to things like master growers, right? The different species, there were like, at least 10 buds. We saw the extraction plant, and the products that came out of that, from tinctures that people can rub. We had, so I'm not an end user, let me put that out there first. So this is really for my patients.
Right.
The gummies, what else again? I mean, there's quite an array of end products. And there was actually, I think, a food festival. I don't think I stayed for that one. But I have seen, in my humble opinion, here using hemp, which is a cannabinoid, doesn't have the THC component. I have seen that work for my patients for insomnia.
Really?
insomnia, right? It's classified as a supplement according to our Food and Drugs here. So we can get the hemp products, so you can use it sublingual as an oil. Persons have actually used it topical as a rub for joint pain, arthritis. That's like one of the most common uses so far that I've seen in St. Vincent. And I'm sure there's so much more. I had a patient, this is my one patient, and he had what you call a sarcoma. So it's this huge mass on his leg, like almost 10, 15 centimeters. He could not walk and lift the leg. And he started using the hemp gummies, and it started, going down in size. He called me one day and he's like, hey, I could get up and I can walk. I could move my leg now.
Wow.
So, I mean, this is not, I've seen it. This is my experience. I'm not to say that evidence-based medicine isn't part of the solution, but for persons who are interested, we're going to have those discussions. Can I continue on my current treatment, and can I also use medicinal cannabis as part of that discussion? So here, it's not legal, it's not approved as yet for dispensation, for patients to use as such. So we're hoping, to start steering and having that conversation. So the rest of the Eastern Caribbean, they've started. Barbados just, I think, launched or opened their lab, I think, or dispensary. St. Vincent, we have Antigua and Barbuda, St. Kitts, St. Lucia, all these islands already, yes, how could I forget Jamaica, on board with their medical cannabis authorities, right?
Okay.
So it's regulated. Physicians have to get a license to practice. And then we would assess the patient, see if they're an ideal candidate, to actually have said product or treatment, and to make sure there are no drug-to-drug interactions from the regular medications we want to give a patient and the medicinal products. So yes, it's even in South Africa. My friend just came back and he told me, it was huge in South Africa as well. So it's global. So we're just waiting to see how to be part of that.
Wow. I think this is a terrific conference for people to attend. I think that there's going to be a lot of information there. I see that there are doctors from all over the world as well. I see doctors are scheduled to be here from Jamaica. There's doctors from Trinidad and Tobago. There's doctors from let me just pull it up here. From the United States of America. We also have Barbados, Cuba, India, Cayman Islands, Antigua. Let me see here.
It's going to be a melting pot.
Yeah, it's an entire, Bahamas. There are going to be doctors from all over the Caribbean and elsewhere. So I think this is a very, very good event for people to attend. And it starts on Friday, the 11th of July. It goes till the 13th of July. I think the information that we've been able to dispense any time that we have, I think a lot of people will see a lot of value in it. Cancer is definitely a concern. The amount of people, I never used to study it before because you never really knew people. But when you start to know people, and then you know one person and you hear they have cancer, and then you hear a next person, and then a next person, you start to ask yourself, but wait now, I might have,
But the
check.
thing is, in my mind, I think it's more common now, and I don't know if it's the food that we're eating, I don't know if it's climate change. I have done no research, but in my mind, it's more prevalent now, today, than...
You think so? It's
30,
more.
40. I think.
Okay. But where would breast cancer fall in terms of that prominence or?
So breast cancer is always the most common female-related cancer. However, from GloboCan or IARC, the International Agency for Research on Cancer, you can see all the global trends and statistics. Prostate actually did a jump and overtook breast cancer.
Okay.
In terms of the number of new cases, so
again, I keep saying
men are becoming proactive. Men are becoming proactive and getting out there to see what's happening. Because, Barbados spoke about having the highest breast cancer rates in their island, and Jamaica for prostate,
Wow.
So when you look at it, and then as I told persons, when COVID came, a lot of my patients couldn't access imaging, etc., because we had to change the entire healthcare system to facilitate, this pandemic. So clearly, some of the persons then may have, unfortunately, not been able to get into the system. So I think that's it. So, as you said, modifiable risk factors are things that we can change. So we have diet and lifestyle, exercise, smoking, whatever. Yeah. And then there's non-modifiable, so family history, being male or female, the others. So it's just getting to someone who can put that picture together for you and say, hey, this is where we are, and this is how we're going to monitor over time to see, if anything comes up, and if there is, then let's do an intervention. Let's just get on board and just get this out of the way.
Yeah. And I'm thinking too, probably more screening, having more probably mobile units available, going into schools. Because if we can get in when they're young, we don't have to treat it.
Good idea.
And spend more money
at the later stages. Okay. Well, definitely something to think about and something for the health ministry to, engage in, the different options across the globe and, really working to advance our policies in terms of what is restricted and what is not. So I'll tell you what, we want to thank Dr. Nimrod and, of course, Mrs. Christopher for joining us this morning. Remember, it is the 13th Annual Scientific Conference, Innovating for Equity, Advancing Cancer Care in the Caribbean, July 11th to the 13th at the Hyatt Regency in Trinidad. And, how do people register?
Okay, so you can go to our website. It's cahocaribbean.org, CAOH. Caribbean.org. As soon as you get to the page, there's a pop-up link. You register in the Google form. For persons who wish to pay, because that's really for online access, you can do a direct transfer, or we will accept you if you're that excited and you're coming to the event as well. So, we always say cancer is everyone's business, so they'll be happy, to have you there. And just to kind of highlight as well, because it'll be a miss for my colleagues who didn't say it, we still subscribe to the evidence base, but it's got to be that perfect balance between what the treatment should be and what else is being done. So granted, patients may run off and just do one. The outcomes may not necessarily be what they want, but as I say, once you're in your right frame of mind and you have that discussion, then, you proceed from there. So,
Beautiful. So people, stay tuned. We got to take a break. When we come back from the break, my brethrens, Del Toro and Daddy Chinese are here. Christmas in July is here as well. And they got an event coming up on the 13th of July down in South, a different type of affair. So stay tuned for that. That's coming up after this.
Our world is filled with rhythm. Rhythm that's unapologetic, infectious, timeless. Rhythm is commitment in action. It's how we show up for each other with unrelenting support that goes the distance. Rhythm lives in the tiny beats of our most intimate moments and the seismic roars of our biggest achievements. Rhythm is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the rhythm back. At Flow, we understand your rhythm because we live it. That's why we're dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You're at the heart of everything we do, and our commitment is to keep your rhythm flowing, no matter what.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors, roti makers. Try Chic Lisha high quality, unbleached, bromate free, all purpose and whole wheat flour. Bleached flour and bromate flour is treated with chemicals that can cause cancer, and this is banned in Europe and many other countries. Chic Lisha flour offers a healthier option, being that it's unbleached and bromate free. It also has a finer grain and a softer texture, lower priced and conveniently packaged in 2 pound, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. Available at groceries and supermarkets. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Chic Lisha Limited at 665-3336 or 480-8715 or visit them at Warrenville, Canupia. Chic Lisha Limited. Quality you can trust.
conditioning problems? Then look no further. A&K Air Conditioning Supplies offers you an easy solution for all your automotive, commercial, and domestic air conditioning needs. With 2 convenient locations to serve you, A&K Air Conditioning Supplies offers you an extensive range of parts and services, including pressure test kits, refrigerators, parts, front and rear evaporators for maxi taxis. They also cater for both foreign and local automobile models like Kia, Hyundai, Honda, Nissan, and more. So pay them a visit today at either of their 2 locations. Number 36 Alfonso Street, Sangre Grande. Phone 784-2707 or 386-5700. And number 133 Corner Roland Street and Bonaventure Mayor Gasparillo. Phone 312-2245 or 782-9720. Anytime you see this one consistent, we go be the last man standing. From the time we shake up the man, watching people them start to jam, we'll be the last man standing. From the time we reach on the stage, we don't mash up everything. No. Everything go mash up, mash up, mash up, mash up, mash up. The whole party go mash up, mash up, mash up, mash up. Just call me Mr. Mash Up. Everything I get mash up. When I touch the stage, I make the people put their hands up. Yeah, you know we jam rock. That is how we.
Most popular psychic and spiritual healer, Master Santosh G. Are you worried about the problems in your life? Are you facing problems in your relationship? Do you have problems in your job or business? Are you facing health issues? Then the only solution. Master Santosh G. He is an expert in palm, face, and horoscope reading. Know your future and change the way of your life. He is expert in solving problems related to love, relationship, job, health, finance, sexual, enemy, spiritual problem, many more. He removes all negativity and gives good luck. He is specialist in getting back loved ones and ex-love back. Get an effective solution for all your problems. Call Master Santosh G at +1 86838438844. Located in all over Trinidad and Tobago.
All right, people, so welcome back to Breaking Dawn this morning, and of course, terrific Wednesday morning across Trinidad and Tobago. And I have 2 very familiar faces here with us. We have Del Toro.
Good morning.
And of course, we have the man himself, Daddy Chiney.
Good morning, blessings.
All right, big chutney soca monarch king and all kind of thing. Right, so we are royalty in the building, right? And these guys here to tell us about, we're in the month of July. So all you know what is happening in July, right?
Yeah.
All you know, Christmas in July is a big thing now. As a matter of fact, Toro was giving me a history on it. So maybe he could give us that information to tell us how this whole Christmas in July thing started. But over the last few years, I realized it's growing and it's growing and it's growing. Yeah. And it have a space in the calendar now, and it's very prominent.
Yes, it is.
So fellas, morning and
morning myself.
Yeah, man, Christmas in July.
Yeah,
Well, Jingle in July.
Jingle in July, yeah.
Right.
That's right. That's what we had to talk about. But just to give you the brief history, it was actually just a commercial thing that started in the States. Christmas in July, and that. It was, I guess, when I say commercial, for stores, I think to do little sales, I think, you know, but it was never as big as it is now. And when Trinidad adopted it, it has become now so predominant that we actually have sales in Trinidad now. Christmas in July sales at the stores and them now, and groceries and so on.
Right.
Yeah, where people getting their ham for cheaper price and this kind of thing, and they're getting the curtains, and you could go and people make the pastels and so forth and so on. Yeah.
Nice
and
one.
the music jamming on the radio stations in
July.
July.
Yeah, because you get a lot of parang. And I'm going to tell you something, we was talking and stuff before we came back in, and the parang, in terms of what you get in July, as opposed to December, where it kind of tied up with the carnival.
Yeah.
Because, especially with this year going into the carnival being so short, because the carnival's in February.
Yes.
So you know what's going to happen.
It's going to be tight, yeah.
The Christmas vibes just get drowned out by the carnival bacchanal. Yeah. And
top point, eh? This is a top point. Yeah, top point, because the parang, people support the parang, they make sure and wait until after Christmas boxing it and still going on into the new year for the parang.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even in the short, even in the short carnival season.
Certain radio stations like that, yes.
All right,
They're dedicated to that. Yeah.
And parties and so forth.
All right, so Parang itself, because I remember, boy, I see some of these Parang events last year for Christmas. And I say, well, wait now. I never know. It have a whole community that just dedicated towards
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. And you know, it could be like, regards to location, they talk like places like Paramin, like Lupino. Right? So you know that it is predominant. I don't think they ever stop playing, singing Paramin.
Right.
Jamming right through, right? But so people try to kind of move towards these places and for the events, and it's huge. It's huge. I mean, Paramin is huge. Lupino is huge. But it has now spreading across Trinidad, you know, like Saparia and
so it take a while to reach on south or
to the level. But I'll tell you,
Trust me, right now it's predominantly in south.
Because I know south are real Paranderos.
But events-wise, no. We actually started some events. About 10 years of
Southside,
Soca Parang. So we had started that, and that became huge. About
Southside Soca Parang?
Yeah. Southside.
10 years ago, let's start that?
Yeah. Soca Parang.
When that used to be?
At the ring.
No. When that used to be? What time of the year?
October.
In October?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So why will it stop?
Well, time and everything.
Time and so on. Then
and
COVID came,
and
when COVID, we just crashed for that 2 years. And But it will come back.
All right, cool, man. That's sounding like a good vibes, man.
Yeah. We had ordered a Baron, Marcia Miranda, Crazy.
Honored them, you know, awards and things.
Serious?
Yeah.
You see, I don't know what these fellas and them doing, you know.
Yeah, we did all that, yeah.
All right, cool, man. Well, I'm not too early into the music industry. I call all the recording artists, right?
Yes.
Because you really can't, you can't stick no specific genre.
You can't just class me.
on I think Trinidad artists on the whole, but especially these two. Because Toro singing everything. You hire Toro for a wedding, listen, you're getting Michael Bolton and all, he's singing that too. And Daddy Chinese come from the Kiskadi Caravan days, come straight up the road, he's singing dancehall, he's singing reggae, he's singing soca, he's singing chutney, he's singing parang, he's singing anything too. So, I mean, that is one of the things I like about the two earlier, you know, the versatility.
Yeah, man. And we enjoy doing that because, you know, we strive on that. And as the people that being an entertainer is not trying to keep yourself in one direction, you know.
All right.
I mean, sometimes you have to understand where not to go.
Well, yeah.
I know where not to go. But where you need to go is Jingle in July.
That's right.
13th of July.
So Jingle in July, it takes place on the 13th. I see here you have a big name here, boy. Alicia Jagasa, boy.
Yeah. We call her the Queen of Parang, or she's called herself the First Lady of Parang. Right?
Yeah.
And anybody who knows Alicia Jagasa, how amazing she is. Vocally, and she's so talented.
She's a gem.
And she's going to be a part of this, and she agreed to be a part of this, and I'm so happy that she's going to be a part of this event in South, especially. I mean, in South Trinidad at Canbulay Restaurant. That's the 13th of July.
Right, boy, I supposed to. Chris, we supposed to go to Canbulay Restaurant, eh?
Well, you're most welcome.
Since Toro was here for Carnival, he tell me about Canbulay, the Canbulay Juve.
That's right.
Like always having the Juve.
Yes, the Juve.
And I say, boy, we had to come down to this Canbulay Restaurant and see what it's all about. So this is the location for Jingle in July.
Yes.
All right. And I see it under Del Toro Entertainment.
That's me.
You know, every time Toro come back here, he does, like, I don't know, boy, like he does up the game somehow. So you have your own
promotion now and
That's good, man. That that spill over from the Juve or?
No. The Juve was strictly Canbulay, and I think China and I have always been in discussion, and I always wanted to go forward into doing events and things like this, right? And we always get caught up in time, and everything else is always happening. And I said, you know what, China, we haven't started in July. At least because I know Christmas we're going to be busy. We might not have the time to put it together. So let's do it in July. And you know, my brother in the business, he always there with me. So, you know, of course he's on the cast. To mash up the place.
They're like Bim and Bam, you know.
We also have Eddie Chance.
Yeah.
Well, I see Eddie Charles there too, the big Eddie Charles.
Eddie, who's supposed to be here this morning?
All right, yep. Where Eddie? Eddie where? Eddie come now, man.
And of course, they have been full parang band by Sonidos.
Yeah, so this the videos. Yeah, that's the Quattro man, the
Jackson.
master Quattro man. They call the Master Jackson, but he's called himself the Quattro man.
The Quattro man.
Yeah.
All right.
Bad like that.
Sonidos Divinos.
Yes.
Featuring the Quattro man.
Yeah, that's him, man.
All right, nice man. I see here free finger food.
Yes.
And this the action starts from 3 p.m.
3. So it's Sunday evening, so it's from 3 to 11. You know, we tell the ladies, I mean, we know they don't like the hot sun, so it's fully air conditioned.
All right, nice one.
And you know, so you come and enjoy yourself.
All right, great
definitely,
man.
Definitely.
It is Jingle in July, people. It is the Canbule Restaurant and Lounge. Located where again?
That's 13 Sutton Street, San Fernando.
Oh, Sutton Street. I know that street.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
that's
I know
the street,
South
the
Valley.
traffic light just before you go up to Naparima College.
Before you go up to Naparima College?
Yes.
Straight across?
Yeah,
All right, cool. Yeah, I know Sutton Street. I'm familiar with Sutton Street.
So,
It's either I see a Sutton Street in South or it's a one in town.
yes, but you see it all of a sudden.
But yeah.
So during Christmas in July, this Saturday also, we have at Leon's Condero Place.
Hey boy, Leon boy.
Yeah, Leon play there the Afrobeat parang, and they're giving us an award. They'll be awarding some parang artists also.
Yeah.
That's
Definitely.
happening this Saturday.
And big up Trevor.
This Saturday. Ole Nato?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Also
Trevor
this
G.
Saturday, the Tuku Kaiso Showcase, the launching the parang team happening at the corridor competition happening in the back of Skinner Park this Saturday also.
A
So
real thing in South this one, boy.
Yeah. So we are part of that as well.
All right,
and
nice
also the
man.
25th, together with RG, Daddy Charlie Del Toro, we heading on to Superior to
Yeah.
give them some hard parang.
Yeah, man.
But wait now, all over the, all not lockdown South, boy.
Yeah.
No, seriously, no, people is underestimate tongue. People really don't know how much thing is going on in South.
No,
now.
South has concern.
Yeah, we are at it all the time. We are at it all the time.
I mean,
And,
you was telling me about the carnival and all earlier too, with the Juve and thing, how much people, how big Juve.
You have to come and experience Juve in South.
Yeah, it is euphoric. It is something that you will never, ever forget.
So South people ain't not come up tongue again, that thing.
That's it. They ain't coming up town again. That's it. There's 20,000 people coming down here. Where's everybody coming down south now?
Well, actually,
everybody coming down south.
Everybody coming down south.
Right. No, but I mean, it's real good vibes. It's always good. And South people really different, eh? And let me tell you something, two things different in South. The people and something with our pork, boy. It's a different pig you just get on South, eh? It's a different pig, boy. The pig we just get up here in no way as close to the pig I just eat in South. It's just two different kind of thing, boy. I don't know what they're doing with the pigs and them down south, but it's a different
Well, when
texture, everything.
When they come to Cambodia, try it.
Serious?
When they come to Cambodia, try it.
All right, cool, man.
I'll tell you.
What Cambodia is open like?
They open from 11 o'clock in the day.
From Monday to Sunday?
Yeah, no. Monday to Saturday.
Monday to Saturday.
Yeah.
All right.
So they normally be closed for
On a Sunday? All right, so you decide whether you're taking that day and
yeah, so they normally have events like for Christmas on Sundays as well.
All right, cool, man.
Rotary clubs and so on is doing pretty much a lot of events there as well.
All right, so we had to promote the Canbule restaurant and lounge too.
So just letting people know for the 13th, tickets are going.
Yeah.
Get
Very
all your
quick.
tickets.
Get your tickets.
Get your tickets.
You can get it at Cambodia, and their numbers are, you can call me on 784-4843. Their tickets are also available at Hookin Bar in Laramine, Steve's Bar in Lagoon, Laramine, all right, and of course Cambodia.
All right. It's 7844843.
Oh, and Tuku office.
Yeah,
and Tuku office as well.
South,
all right. So 7844843 you said, right?
784-4843.
All right, 7844843. Make that call today. Get your tickets. Get them early because we're right around the corner. We're just about 2 weeks away.
Yeah, Jingle in July.
Or less than 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
And it is Jingle in July. Christmas in July is here. The month has started. And for those of you who like, you love the parang vibes, you love the Christmas vibes, listen.
And we started from this.
You're going to one of the best.
But I want to tell you same thing as well. But we're not going with the Christmas. I'm swinging it into a retro party too.
Into a retro thing?
Yeah, so we partying.
All right, man. It's real action dog in South and Canbule.
Movementation.
Movementism.
So we started the brand from this Saturday in the back of Skinner Park, like 1 or 2 from this Saturday, Parang start. From this Saturday, Kaiser Showcase, Lonely Parang, Lonely the corridor competition. Friends and family, free. Everybody invited, free.
Free.
All the Parang friends.
All the Parang friends.
All right,
and look
nice
out.
one.
You come in, you know.
For Daddy Chani, after so many years, this year, Daddy Chani and Del Toro will be doing an official song together. Almost finished.
Wait, all they never do a tune together?
Never.
Never do a
So
Parang
this
together.
year.
All years, all they moving together, all they never do a song together?
We don't have time.
So official Parang, or Parang. We don't have song, we never do a Parang song together.
All they never do a parang together?
We don't chatty something, we do never Parang.
But all you, wait. You do a chat, wait. So in all years, all you moving together, all you do one tune together?
One.
Yeah. You don't get time. Yeah. Because by the time I write, he write. So we go on again. That's how it goes.
We,
so this year, this was planned since last year. Yeah. We sung and planned this last year, so we have an idea what we want to do. We'll be coming out strong.
Yeah, trust me.
All right, well, I will see you all soon.
Yeah, when we say Parang friends, everybody invited.
Yeah,
all right,
friends,
nice man.
Yeah,
well, I tell you what, people, you got to get there. It is Jingle in July, like I said. July 13th, Canbule Restaurant and Lounge. And call that number 7844843.
That's right.
And of course, you could get your tickets, at advertised outlets.
Yeah,
There's going to be various door prizes and finger food, free finger food as well. And it starts from 3 p.m. Alicia Jagasa, Daddy Chani, Eddie Charles, and Sonidos Divinos featuring the Quattro Man.
That's right.
And music by DJ Denison.
Yeah.
Anything else in closing?
Yes, I just want to shout out some many sponsors. Of course, Campbell Restaurant, Ames Construction.
Okay.
Mr. Barry Gopi Singh, of course. Avalara Main Auto Supplies. Also, I want to mention Bailey Deagle. Right. DJ Jav, who has been a great help to me too as well. A good friend of mine. He participated. He wanted to be a part of it.
All right, nice one.
So, of course, I want to thank everybody for being part of it. So far, the event didn't start yet. When we've done this event, we'll cover the next one.
All right, nice one. All right, people. So we're going to take a break. And remember, Jingle in July is on July 13th. And remember, Skinner Park, the corridor competition, absolutely free.
Saturday.
Come down, that is Saturday. And you're going to catch Daddy Chani and, of course, Del Toro. And if you want your tickets for the 13th, I'm sure they're going to have some in the back pocket.
Yeah, man.
So, when we come back, we have Acting Sergeant Greenwich with us behind the badges up next. Stay tuned.
At Adams Optical, we care for your vision with everything from stylish frames, contact lenses, and sunglasses, starting at just $595 to advanced eye care services. We also diagnose and manage conditions like glaucoma and cataracts with our in-house ophthalmologist. Additional services include OCT, VFT, and cataract surgeries. Visit us at San Fernando, Chaguanas, or Rio Claro.
Greetings to you all in the wonderful name of our Lord and Savior, the sweet Rose of Sharon and the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus. I am Ezekiel Johnson Fort, and I am pleasured to inform you of the newest branch of the Christian Union Church, Trinidad and Grenada District, San Juan Revival Ministries. If you are desiring prayer, healing, or that closer connection to the Heavenly Father, then the place to be is at San Juan Revival Ministries. And allow me to ask you one question. Are you living a life without Jesus Christ? Do you desire freedom from spiritual bondage? Then the only solution to your problem is Him. In the book of Matthew chapter 11 and verses 28, it says, "Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." And this is mostly speaking to those of you who are Christians and you might not have a place to fellowship. Come. Fellowship with us at the Christian Union Church San Juan Revival Ministries. Come, be edified and equipped by the Word of God preached by the man of God, Senior Reverend Bishop Dave Donation. You will be empowered by the move of the Holy Spirit of the living God. Come and be comforted. If you desire to be an environment that shows compassion and care for your spiritual needs, growth, and development, then fellowship with us at number 1 Bagatelle Corner, Saddle Road, every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. to 12 noon. I look forward to seeing you there, and God bless you all, and may the peace of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, be with you now and always. God bless you all.
Our world is filled with rhythm. Rhythm that's unapologetic, infectious, timeless. Rhythm is commitment in action. It's how we show up for each other with unrelenting support that goes the distance. Rhythm lives in the tiny beats of our most intimate moments and the seismic roars of our biggest achievements. Rhythm is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the rhythm back. At Flow, we understand your rhythm because we live it. That's why we're dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You're at the heart of everything we do, and our commitment is to keep your rhythm flowing, no matter what.
To strengthen your immune system, you need to nourish your body with foods rich in antioxidants. Exercise regularly and build your immunity with supportive nutrients. That's why the experts at Jameson created products for immune support made with pure ingredients. For 100 years, Jameson has helped take care of you and your family. At Jameson, your wellness will always be our goal. Jameson, here for your health.
Introducing Open Minds Primary School Lessons 100% online. Get quality education from the comfort of your home. Affordable, expert-led online tuition to help your child succeed. Register today. Call or WhatsApp 388-6635 or visit www.openminds.education.
My parents' generation grew up with Royal Castle. From the first restaurant in 1968, when that distinctive, tempting aroma hit the air. Like never before, fried chicken with a special blend of local seasonings and a one-of-a-kind flavor down to the bone. Today, Royal Castle still have that same delicious taste, and I love it too. And the kids, they have more to enjoy. For me, the Castle is more than just nice food. It's we own, part of me and you, and is the real flavor of TNT.
Trinidad and Tobago, get ready to celebrate a legend and say thank you, Sparrow. This will be the ultimate tribute to the Calypso King of the world.
Education, education, this is the foundation.
Be part of an unforgettable night of music, memories, and magic as some of his younger proteges take the stage to honor and say thank you, Sparrow.
This is no time to say you are federating no more.
All happening Friday, July 25th at the iconic Grandstand, Queen's Park, Savannah. Showtime, 7:30 p.m. Tickets $300 and $250, but first edition tickets bought by Monday, June 30th, cost $75 less.
For more info, call 491-1802.
Air conditioning problems? Then look no further. A&K Air Conditioning Supplies offers you an easy solution for all your automotive, commercial, and domestic air conditioning needs. With 2 convenient locations to serve you, A&K Air Conditioning Supplies offers you an extensive range of parts and services, including pressure test kits, refrigerator parts, front and rear evaporators for maxi taxis. They also cater for both foreign and local automobile models like Kia, Hyundai, Honda, Nissan, and more. So pay them a visit today at either of their 2 locations. Number 36 Alfonso Street, Sangre Grande. Phone 784-2707 or 386-5700. And number 133 Corner Roland Street and Bonaventure Main Road, Gasparillo. Phone 312-2245 or 782-9720.
All right, people, so welcome back to Breaking Dawn. And of course, we got to thank Daddy Chinese and of course Del Toro for touching base with us and telling us about Jingle in July. But we're going to move on to a few serious issues We have Acting Sergeant Greenwich with us. We're going to get to him in just a little bit. Before I get to Greenwich, I want to remind you guys about Eden Heights. So Eden Heights Clinic, of course, one of the most advanced state-of-the-art alternative clinics in the Caribbean. And they offer a dynamic combination of life-changing treatments, including prolozone therapy, live blood analysis, limb bagging, nutritional programs, weight loss programs, and more, including oxygen baths. They also offer consultation services in child counseling, diabetes, live blood analysis, arthritis, knee, shoulder, back pain, and more. So you can get in touch with them at any one of their 3 locations. They're located in Trin City, Chaguanas, and Tobago. All right? And you could give them a call on 640-8985 or 613-7571. You could also WhatsApp them on 493-9196 or email them at edenheightsdistributors@gmail.com. So that is Eden Heights. Get in contact with them today. And I also want to remind you about Open Minds Education. So parents, if you're looking for something meaningful for the children this summer, this is it. Open Minds is back with their online summer camp. It's more than just worksheets and lectures. From July 21st to August 15th, Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to noon, your child will be learning math, grammar, and creative writing live on Zoom. No drop-offs, no traffic, no hassle, just smart learning from the comfort of your home. Spots are limited, so WhatsApp them now at 388-6635, and that is Open Minds, all right? Education beyond boundaries. So, before we get to Acting Sergeant Greenwich, one of the things we will discuss with him is the revelation that was announced by the new Commissioner of Police, Commissioner Alistair Guevara, and he mentioned on TV6's Beyond the Tape, the other police program, that his officers, while off duty, will be allowed to carry their firearm or have a firearm on them. As a matter of fact, let's take you to that clip, courtesy TV6, right now, and then we'll touch base with Greenwich.
Police Commissioner Alistair Guevara announced a short while ago that his officers will be allowed to keep their weapons while off duty.
I want to talk to my officers this evening and say to you, you have not been left behind. Yesterday I would have visited the armory and I would have called for an audit of all the idle and serviceable pistols. And it is my intention to institute an off-duty firearm policy where I will be arming all of my frontline tactical and operational officers so that they, in the past, you treat with a criminal, and he would often tell you, you have to sign off yours. Well, let me tell you, my officers have to sign off their guns again.
So that is the Commissioner of Police there, making that announcement of firearms being available to his off-duty officers. We have Acting Sergeant Greenwich with us. We want to chat with him this morning about that. Greenwich, morning to you, man.
Good morning, Stefan. Good morning, Sharon. Once again, a pleasure to be here after a long little vacation.
Yeah, well, Pitt take over for a few weeks.
Yes, and I'm grateful for the little.
Nice, man. But we're glad to have you back. Nice to hear your voice. So the first thing we want to discuss here, in maybe 2 or 3 topics that we're going to discuss very quickly, this announcement by the Commissioner of Police here of police officers while off duty being able to carry home the firearm or to carry a firearm.
Yes, Stefan, I think it's a step in the right direction. I mean, in any first world country, officers do not have that issue in terms of signing in and out their duty weapons, which is, of course, one of the tools of trade. We can't be substitute. I think the time has come for us as a nation and the whole to stop seeing it as a weapon and see it more as a tool of trade, and especially in the climate we are in presently, right? Where issues are taking place, challenges are taking place sporadically, right? So it is in fact a step in the right direction for 2 reasons. One with regards to response, 2 with regard to ensuring that the officers are confident enough to do our jobs as we have some means, at least some chance in terms of protecting our persons when our tour of duty has ended on a daily basis.
Yeah, because, I mean, that is a genuine concern from officers, because I think I raised this with, I think it was Pitt, but Pitt was here in his capacity as a member of the association with the elections that apparently were postponed on Monday due to an injunction. But, you know, he was here in that capacity, and I did mention it to him. I said, you know, Pitt, I can't understand why police officers don't get a firearm to go home with. I know that, like in other countries, if an officer uses their firearm for the wrong reason or they're found wanting, they ask them to hand in the firearm, correct?
Well, the same principle applies here.
Right.
At the end of the day, if your firearm is used for nefarious activities, of course, not only would it be taken away, but you can be arrested and charged for whatever offense was committed.
Right.
Right. So the legislation is there in terms of ensuring that officers, we as officers are not above the law. We have to operate within the confines of the law anyway. Right? The main concern is, of course, ensuring that we are confident enough to do so, to face the criminal elements head on, and then fully able to protect ourselves when the duty ends. Because we must admit, Trinidad and Tobago is a very small country, comprising of 1.3 million persons. We are not even as big as the city of New York in terms of population.
True.
Right? So the odds of you being engaged by someone you may have engaged whilst on duty is very high.
Right.
Right? The odds of you walking into a situation that may require use of force or support is very high as well.
Yeah, the odds of somebody finding out where you're living.
Right, because we are a small country.
Yeah.
It's not to say you can leave one state and go into the other to live, and, you know.
Correct.
We are too small for that, and as such, I am very pleased in terms of the Commissioner of Police taking this step in the best interest of his charges of us to ensure that, of course, we can feel confident whilst on the field doing our job.
Did he mention if these would be off-duty officers of a particular rank?
No, he didn't say rank. What he said is officers who are in the front line, operational units.
Okay.
Right? And that could vary, that could be situational in terms of who we would define as operational units.
Okay. So we're talking about the officers that definitely, you know, like tactical, police, things like that.
Right. Yeah.
All right. All right. So, well, outside of the safety factor for protection for officers, you mentioned response time as well, I believe.
Response, of course,
yeah.
We do not recommend it, but there may be times where offenses may be being committed in our view. And it's easier now to call for assistance and support in terms of managing whatever the situation is.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
Maybe in layman terms, calling for backup and treating with the situation.
Right, calling for backup. All right. Yeah. So I would imagine that a lot of police officers are elated because we know that a lot of police officers have, you know, applied for FUL. A lot of people have not gotten their FUL up to today, whether they are police officer, business people, or otherwise. So for these officers, I mean, this is a welcome. This is a step in the right direction, needless to say.
Of course.
All right.
Yeah.
I want to bring your attention to...
If we are responsible enough to utilize the farms whilst on duty, that shouldn't change while off duty. It's the same responsibility required to retain a firearm on and off duty.
Okay. Now, I want to bring your attention to something else very quickly here. We spoke about it on several occasions. We continue to speak about it. I don't know when it's going to stop, but the police are again advising drivers to slow down. Reckless driving endangers everyone. And when you read this article, it says in total, police handed out 114 tickets and arrested 2 drivers for drunk driving. Now, this was between June 26th to June 28th during some nationwide road safety exercises. Officers issued 55 speeding tickets All right. And like I said, they handed out 114 tickets total and arrested 2 drivers for drunk driving. Officers say reckless driving continues to be a serious problem, especially during the rainy season when wet roads increase the risk of fatal crashes. And a release from the police service on June 29 said that the most common violations included running red lights. People running red lights in Trinidad and Tobago?
Yes, when I see it, we see it. Let us don't act like it don't exist, we do.
All right. When we say running red lights, I know when you're driving.
Breach of the traffic sign, which means the light that dictates the movement of the traffic in your direction. You're breaching the light. You're going across the light when it is red, and we all know that red means we stop.
Okay. All right. Using phones while driving.
Yes. Use of handheld devices. Another common offense that we see on a daily basis.
Okay. Not wearing seat belts.
Again.
And driving without insurance. We have people taking a chance of driving without insurance. How many people we have taking a chance of driving without insurance in this place?
Yes, Stefan, we see these things happening on a daily basis. Right? We even have persons driving while it's qualified. We have persons driving having never been issued a permit to start with.
Right.
We saw people taking these chances, and the funny thing about it is predominantly we spoke about exceeding the speed limit. And we are in fact in the rainy season. So most of the times, more often than not, the roads are wet.
Right.
Right? And we are not taking our times on the road. Somehow, I don't know if we have the feeling that it cannot happen to us. Right? My mind runs to the incident involving the prison officer a couple nights ago, where the assailant was attempted to flee the scene.
Right.
If you watch the video, despite the way the man was driving before he crashed, that is a common thing on the roadways today. Right? And we don't understand it. In a split second, one mistake could cost us our lives.
Yeah.
Right? And as such, we need to be more mindful as to ensuring that we utilize due diligence on the roads and we adhere to the rule of law.
Yeah, and you know when people get tickets, they're not people getting tickets there because seeing.
And then we all know about the thing. When the tickets are being issued, we are saying that police should prioritize crime. Right? But second to the homicides, we're seeing is the carnage on the roads. And a life loss is a life loss.
Understood.
We need to, yeah.
Now I'm seeing one of the common offences here is overtaking on the left. Now, in truth and in fact, Greenwich, we're talking about overtaking on the left here, right? But there are drivers who are in the right lane and they are driving extremely slow.
That too is an offense, Stefan.
But do they get charged for that offense?
Yes.
Where? Where and when has anybody been ticketed for driving too slow in the right lane?
Stefan, I personally have seen persons ticketed for failing to keep left.
Well, I had to meet a person who tell me they get a ticket for that.
Well, what I can do is possibly engage my colleagues at the Highway and Traffic Patrol branch and see what statistics we can get from them in terms of persons who were charged for failing to keep left.
Yeah, because that causes drivers to overtake on the left.
Right, but generally speaking, most times a person is charged for overtaking on the left. It is utilizing the show line.
Oh, okay.
It's not
Okay.
Traffic. It's more, sometimes it have a line of traffic and they decide to beat the system by running up the shoulder.
By running up the shoulder, yeah.
Yeah, in most instances, that is the offense of overtaking on the left that we look at.
Oh,
That's
okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So overtaking on the shoulder. All right.
Yeah.
People still doing that, right?
It's funny to be surprised with things.
The director telling me, yes, people still doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, we sacrifice the law for convenience and for the manner in which we drive says a lot about us as a society in terms of adhering to the law. And I think, again, if we start with the little things, we'll be more impactful with the big things as well.
You know, the people who overtake on the shoulder, you know, they cause more traffic because then they have to cut back in.
They reach a bottleneck and then they want to cut back in and the bullying drivers to get in,
exactly,
which can lead to conflict. These things, and again, if we are citizens, we always marvel at the amount of tickets being issued. But I always come on the program and say, Stefan, that it is more reflection on the lawlessness than it is on the law enforcement.
On the law enforcement, yeah,
because if we really were serious about starving the system in terms of having revenue from tickets, we'd abide by the law.
That's correct. I agree with that. Talking about the law, how is you know, how the police doing with the crime situation right now, Greenwich?
Well, Stefan, I believe
is crime on the up, the down? Is it in the same position? Is it neutral? Where is it?
Well, you know, we like to watch homicide statistics.
Yes.
As a measure in for crime, right? And hold on, permit me to get the stats as of today.
Oh, you walk with stats?
Yeah.
All right. Greenwich walk with stats all here. Look back on all.
Right. So, for the month of June last year, we had 51 homicides. For the month of June this year, we had 30.
You had 30?
Yeah.
All right, so we had 21 less.
21 less, yeah, 21 less.
Okay.
Right. Comparatively, on the 1st of July 2024, we had 3 homicides. Presently, we have 0.
Okay. All right. So you walk with your stats, eh?
Yeah. So I believe presently morale is high in the police service. And officers are encouraged to walk the beat and be a little, and push our agenda in terms of ensuring that all citizens within our nation feel safe. And we'll continue to persevere throughout. And hopefully we'll see a much significant difference by year end.
Because I did ask Pitt this, and I'll ask you. The change at the top. The change at, no, serious, the change at the top, I asked Pitt this, and he willingly answered, if I recall correctly. But the change on the top, from your perspective, from what you have seen, I ain't talking about you personally, I'm talking about being at work, the officers, everybody in the police station, your colleagues, the change at the top, where the commissioner of police is concerned, and the appointment of one of the TTPS's, I guess, most prominent or most popular faces in Roger Alexander, at the head of the Ministry of Homeland Security. From your perspective, has that boost the confidence in the police service in terms of the police service now getting to some extent some of the tools that they've been lacking for a little period of time now?
So what I would say is this, right? The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is a professional organization, right? Our focus is on law enforcement, and it does not matter to the average officer who is at the top, right? What we really care about is truly making a difference in Trinidad and Tobago, right? I think what impacts negatively at times is the negative press, the challenges we've seen, what appeared in the past to be infighting, more or less, right? Was what would have assisted in dropping morale. But with these situations rectified and officers are yet again putting boots to the ground and ensuring that we make a difference in our country. But it matters not in terms of from the political aspect, who is there, who is not there. We are here to serve as a professional organization, and we will continue to do so with pride.
Ganesh, you give me a real diplomatic answer this morning, boy. Almost better than Pitt, you know. Almost better than Pitt, you know. Just let me ask you one more thing here. While you were talking there was something that that popped into my head now, boy. The uniform. What happened is I sent, there was like 2 videos that I saw circulating over the last week involving police officers. One was with a police officer with a schoolboy. I don't know if you saw that one, and the crowd was there. It was like in Port of Spain on the corner of Park Street.
Yeah, they were attempting to arrest the schoolboy.
Right. Pitt took one look at that and said, that's an old video, police don't wear that uniform again.
Right.
And there was another video with police in Cocorit running some men and telling them go home. And some of them was a little, resistant, and some of the police took action. They go some battle on them and whatever. But I sent it to him and I said, is this recent? Because it was shared on some social media pages. And he took one look at it and he said, that old police don't wear that uniform again. What is the uniform police wearing right now? Because the reason why I'm asking you is because we know we are people who just impersonate police officers. So if you have any old uniform in use right that somebody want to try to use, let me just clarify that. What is the standard uniform right now?
In many parts, there was in fact an issue with persons wearing operational wear similar to that of the Trinidad Police Service.
Yes.
And as such, the commissioner back then would have mandated all officers to return that specific style of operational wear. And we were all reverted to patrol order number 2, which is gray number 3, which is gray shirts and navy blue slacks.
Right.
Right. Operational units are now wearing the digital camo uniform. Right. So that navy blue long sleeve or short sleeve operational outfit we had before, that is no longer considered uniform in Trinidad Police Service.
Okay. All right.
Right. Also, with regards to the videos, I think it is important to note that the Trinidad Police Service has a use of force policy, which, if you break it down in layman terms, ask them, tell them, make them. Right? And as such, we have to use as much force as is required and reasonable to ensure that the rule of law is adhered to.
Okay. All right. That's understood. Well, Greenwich, we're out of time, but I want to thank you for joining us this morning, as usual. Good to have you back. I would imagine you'll be with us for a few weeks. Well,
by God's grace.
Yeah, because election still going on. Election still going on for one man.
Yeah, I will respond. Right.
Yeah.
But I wish ESP Pitt and his team all the best, all the success in the upcoming election.
All right, man. Greenwich, thanks a lot, man. Later.
Yeah, be safe.
Yeah, man. That is Acting Sergeant Greenwich on the inside. And we want to thank you for joining us this morning and giving us a little insight. And my boy walk with stats, boy. The man walk with stats. He said June 2024, we had 51 homicides. In June 2025, we have 30. The man walk with stats. And that is 21 less. But, it's too early to judge in terms of performance just yet. It could just be a slow month as, with changeover of government take place. Because they really haven't done anything from what I have seen, with the exception of the new vehicles that the vehicle fleet that they included in the TTPS the other day. There really hasn't been any real policy or action that you could say has impacted on the state of crime with homicides. But we'll see how it goes. But if it keeps going in a downward trajectory like that, we should be in a good place coming to the end of the year. We're going to take a break, and when we return, Pastor John is up next, people. Stay with us. It's Breaking Dawn. It's Wednesday morning, and this is the morning that we leave in to head out to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And to the Prime Minister over there, I come in, we go deal with that dollar issue. All right? Well, stay tuned. We'll be back after this.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors, roti makers. Try Chic Lisha high quality, unbleached, bromate free, all purpose and whole wheat flour. Bleached flour and bromate flour is treated with chemicals that can cause cancer, and this is banned in Europe and many other countries. Chic Lisha flour offers a healthier option, being that it's unbleached and bromate free. It also has a finer grain and a softer texture, lower priced and conveniently packaged in 2 pound, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. Available at groceries and supermarkets. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Chic Lisha Limited at 665-3336 or 480-8715 or visit them at Warrenville, Canupia. Chic Lisha Limited. Quality you can trust.
Steel Force Caribbean Limited, number 47, Lot 6, Montu Trace in Pinal, is your newest choice for steel construction and fabrication, offering full services in engineering and architectural design, structural steel fabrication and erection, pipe details, storage tank details including fabrication of steel tanks and pipes, all set to API standards. They offer a wide range of services in residential, commercial, and industrial clients, and extend services to customers here in Trinidad and Tobago and across the Caribbean. So, give them a call at 490-2771 or 399-7590. Steel Force Caribbean Limited, number 47, Lot 6, Montu Trace in Pinal. Reinventing the standard of how we handle steel.
Don't tell me about work, I out on the road today. Me and some pretty bitches, I out on the boat today. I don't care what time of day it is, I'm drinking rum today. Having fun today, yeah. Holiday, today is a holiday. I don't care what.
At Adams Optical, we care for your vision with everything from stylish frames, contact lenses, and sunglasses, starting at just $595 to advanced eye care services. We also diagnose and manage conditions like glaucoma and cataracts with our in-house ophthalmologist. Additional services include OCT, VFT, and cataract surgeries. Visit us at San Fernando, Chaguanas, or Rio Claro.
No time to waste this vacation. Join Elders Classes Vacation Bootcamp.
Our vacation program has a wide range of CSEC subjects. Also, this vacation, we have an 8 weeks conversational Spanish course. Tradition allows us at Elders to pass on what we know and what we love.
Drill them this vacation. No kicks. Join your batch.
All right, people, so welcome back to Breaking Dawn this Wednesday morning. And as usual, at around this time, we have Pastor John joining us from New York. And Pastor John is with us via Zoom, so we're going to touch base with him this morning. It's just so ironic that we have Pastor on the same morning, Pastor being a cancer survivor, and we have him on the same morning that we had Dr. Nimrod on with the scientific conference specifically geared towards cancer that will be taking place on July 11th to the 13th. So, Pastor John, good morning to you, man.
Good morning, sir. Good morning. Cancer is a topic that dear to my heart because I'm a cancer survivor. I survived stage 4 cancer in my prostate. I was in hospice. I had 7 months to live. And I give God glory every day for the realization of Plant Life Give Life that I went back to the garden and use those supplements to transform my system from being dysbiosis to alkalosis. And I am healthy once again, and I'm thanking God. This coming December, it will be 15 years I am cancer-free. So I really thank God for it.
Okay,
and I pass that message on to every single person. If they could only listen to me, the ones who do, get results. And the ones who don't, I just pray for the best thing to happen to them.
Nice one. So what? Now, I know last time you were with us, we spoke about dysbiosis. So what do you have for us this morning?
diabetes. And by the way, let me thank all the people who turned out on Renaissance Hotel this last Sunday. Yes, and we had a good turnout. A lot of people from who heard me from Breaking Dawn, they raised their hand from Breaking Dawn and all this other stuff. And they came and they asked the question and they were able to get themselves with lots of, they left better for it because they were more educated in details how to take care of their health. And that was very important.
And that was for free?
Yes, that was for free. Yes, yes, yes. I'll be here in October again for free.
Okay.
This Thursday, I'm going to Cayman Islands and then to Sweden. I travel just as keep traveling. Huh?
Pastor, you're touring more than some soca artists, you know?
No. But it's to hear some of the things that people from in Trinidad and Tobago, it's very, very painful to hear the things people going through in their body, man. They're sick behind. A lady stand up and talk about what 5-6 stuff going on in her body, 5 different, hard chronic disease. So it's very, very tough. But diabetes is what's troubling the world today. And if nothing is done to reverse diabetes, almost half the population will be diabetic or pre-diabetic by 2050. It's it's very, very serious. Because that insulin we keep hearing about, our body's supposed to produce it on its own. We should not be injecting insulin in our bodies. Your body and every single human being body has insulin, which is an essential hormone that helps you to stay healthy and keep your body working as it should. Insulin is a naturally occurring hormone that your pancreas makes essential for allowing your body to use sugar for energy. That's what they eat. And this sugar for energy we're talking about is not no white sugar and no all the different names of sugar and added sugar with chemicals. These are sugar come from the natural earth. Every single plant and fruits and herb upon the earth have sugar in it. That is what to sustain us. That's what gives us energy. That's what keep us going and keep the brain cells healthy. And to see now your pancreas doesn't make enough insulin or your body does not use insulin properly, it leads to high blood sugar. Then you have diabetes. And, people call it diabetes. I call it die or beat this. Either you go die or you go beat it. To understand where we are and what we are doing.
Right.
So every single person needs a sugar blocker. And that sugar blocker blocks the sugar from damaging your endothelium, the lining of your red blood vessel. Your red blood vessel is what keeps the pancreas healthy, the endothelium. So therefore, when you eat sugar, as it's unavoidable today, based on our food and diet and what they put in food and what they give us, we need a sugar blocker power pack and the alkaline power pack, which have 84 different ingredients. All the people at Renaissance saw the product, they saw the name, and they were very happy to understand what the process looked like.
Right.
So anyone that have diabetes today, they should be calling my number to start to fix themselves, because you have to get the A1C below 5.7. And since diabetes is one of the most misdiagnosed disease they have in the world, that sometimes they guesstimate what you may have. Type 1, then type 1 looking like, some days it's like type 2 you have. Some people have type 2, and some days it's type 1, type 1.5, and all the different things that people go through. It's very painful. That's why sometimes days they don't feel good, and some days they feel better, because they're hoping either the insulin or the medication they give them might help them. But just think about insulin as a key, like you open your door, or to start your car, or to get to your computer, you have a key, or your bank account, your ATM key, the passcode for your ATM and your account is called a key. So just think about, without that key, you cannot get in. So if you put the wrong number in, you have problems with opening up your account. And if you don't have the right number and the right password, you cannot enter, you cannot come in. That is insulin is the key that opens the doors to the cells of the body. And when it opens it up, these cell doors, glucose can leave your bloodstream and move into where you use it for energy, because you're supposed to use glucose, not the product they make the cell, and there's a product named glucose. We're not talking about that product. We're talking about natural glucose in your body. That's what it's supposed to be. So today, Brother Stefan, I am here for any questions you or your audience or anybody may have for me. Just ask me and let me see if I could help somebody by.
Well, in terms of diabetes, there seems to be how could I put it? Common medication that people are given, like metformin. I remember my father was on metformin for years. To me, like, that's the #1 tablet that you get for diabetes, right? But you know, it's interesting because Dr. Nimrod was here and I was asking about pancreatic cancer, and you just mentioned, I think, something to do with that part of the body. And she said, you know, if you are on, she said, yeah, I remember that she and this is how I know that all the conversations we've been having with you over the last few weeks, you're spot on, because she mentioned that the blood sugar is linked to the cancer, like you said. No, not in those exact words, but the sugar is the problem. That sugar is the main problem. And I think she was telling me something about the pancreas. If the pancreas is not able to provide or produce, is it the insulin?
That is correct.
Right.
If it cannot produce the insulin sufficient for the body to use, you got problems.
You got problems. So she said the same thing. And she said, you know, when you're diagnosed with diabetes and you taking medication and it's still going up, that sometimes could be a sign that your pancreas is not producing, and maybe you need to get screened in terms of that, because the earlier that you identify the problem, especially with cancer, the more chance that you have of the treatment or medication working. But then there's the other aspect of that I raised at the start of that interview. I said, you know, people spend so much money. And we spoke about this just a few weeks ago, the amount of money that people spend. If I'm going to spend $300,000 to get rid of a problem, the problem better be gone, right? And we have people who spend enormous amounts of money dealing with these things. So people have to understand, and I'm glad that you raised it again. They have to understand that there is a link between diabetes and cancer, or sugar and cancer. Because when we think sugar, we don't think cancer, we just think diabetes.
Well, that's correct, because sugar creates dysbiosis. Dysbiosis creates chronic inflammation, and chronic inflammation is the root cause of every disease, included cancer and diabetes and anything that you could think of that is not functioning in your body correctly. So when too much sugar in your system, it's cancer. Too much sugar in your blood is diabetes. And the list goes on and on, because that insulin, when your pancreas is not working, a lot of times you have type 3C diabetes. That's when the cancer is damaged. That you may have pancreatic cancer or create more problem. Like type 3 diabetes is when it's affecting your brain. So you have Alzheimer's and so on and so on and so on. So that is very important that that sugar blocker now block that. Look, metformin, the science behind metformin was to help you block the sugar. But the chemicals and the side effects is what plaguing people. The sugar blocker that I have to give is 100% organic.
Okay, but why do people, like somebody asked me a question the other day. I hear Pastor John be talking about this sugar blocker. But does that mean that I could consume sugar if I take it?
Well, yes and no. A proper diet is always a plus. But if you consume X amount of sugar today and you were to use a sugar blocker, it will minimize the damage or block the sugar from damaging everything in your body. You now have a protection. That's why I said, regardless if you're sick or not, everybody needs it. Like if you live in a war zone and you have a bulletproof vest, doesn't mean that you cannot get shot and die. It doesn't mean you cannot get hurt or whatever. But a lot of bullets that hit you on your chest or anywhere in the torso, you have protection for it. Or if you have a shield, like if you see the riot in South in Los Angeles, they had on bulletproof vests, they had on helmet, and they had the big shield in front of them. That's to protect and ward off the danger from coming to the body. And that's what the sugar blocker does. So if you know you're going out this weekend and you're going and pig out, or you're going and do excessive eating, you should at least walk with the sugar blocker and drink it before you leave. That's what you do.
Because you said metformin was designed to do that, right? That's one of the functions of metformin.
The idea with medical science, right? All I'm anti-medical, but the idea with medical science is designed with the same ideology that if we could block out sugar from damaging the endothelium, we could help the pancreas. But then they put so much of chemicals that the good intention becomes bad. That's what metformin was designed to do, but it becomes bad. Right. Just like somebody taking immunotherapy, like chemotherapy, they have immunotherapy. The immunotherapy, the guy that invented it, he had good, when you read it on a paper, it sounds good because they say if you strengthen your immune system, the body could heal itself, which I talk about every day naturally, but it turned bad with all the chemicals that it's loaded with, and it damaged all the good cells. That's what.
Why we got a couple minutes left here. The reason why I asked you that, right, about your product and about metformin, is that okay? And you said you're you're anti-medical in terms of the traditional
stuff, yes,
right?
Yes. Because
So
I refuse chemo and I refuse radiation and surgery for my cancer.
So why is it? Because I have other people who are on this program that are not aligned with the medical fraternity, as in the traditional, conventional medical fraternity that we know, that and that a lot of people trust. And my question is often, why do people keep trying the same thing over and over without getting the desired result? And there are other options on the table, and they I don't know, they're skeptical or whatnot to walk in
I'll
and
give you the answer. In many cases, these medication that people receive, they get it for free. And when they have to buy natural products, they have to pay for it. And if they don't want to pay for nothing, they start to tell you, I'm very educated. Do you have anything for me to read? Now, we're taking the medication from the doctor. They never read nothing because it's free. But as soon as you tell them you have something, you have any website, you have anything for me to read? And they sound like they're from QRC or Bishop High School or something, or Trinity College or some kind of big university in the West Indies. You know, like they like to read and this, and they're going to study this and study that and whatever the case to me. So you give them the website, and most of them never take nothing from it because that's where it is. You have to listen to the customer. They ask for it, you give it to them. Anybody want my website, they call me, I give it to them. And that was the end of the story because you know you're not hearing nothing from there after they want to study and they want to read. But the stuff that they give into the person over and over is not working, and they're going back for more.
Yeah.
They're like in the casino, they don't be lucky and cover. They're trying to, this time is my luck, I will get it there because it's free. Let me say the majority of the times, that's the answer. I don't know for all the time.
Okay. But yeah, because that has been puzzling me, because I've been asking people, well, you know, if you're trying this thing for so long and it ain't working for you, what do you have to lose? This is the question I ask. What is there to lose? How bad could it be if, you know, to try something different? But I think people on the whole, people get into a routine. And in getting into that routine, sometimes change is, but not sometimes, but a lot of the times, change is very difficult. And then when they want to make the change or somebody offers them something different, they want to scrutinize as much as they can, because in that scrutiny, they are trying to convince themselves that what is not working for them will work for them eventually in order to maintain confidence. They want, they want to reassure themselves that what they're doing, it working. And why, and they want to come up with all the reasons why not to try something different. I think that's just human nature.
So a lot of times I come on the air, a lot of people call me excited when they address me as a man of God. They think I'm in heaven already, servant of the Most High. They're calling for, and you're doing a good thing, and that's nice, and I call to get the product. As soon as they hear the price, they say, oh, I was only calling to get the price. Because they get disappointed because they thought it maybe was something, whatever is in their mind or whatever it is. But the fact of the matter is that for me personally, as a pastor, one of the pastoral duties is to commit people to the grave, like when people die and you do the funerals. And sometimes the family will take me to the funeral home because they need support. The chemo disfigure the person so bad that they can't even open the casket. And we have to go and look at it and support them and pray with them and give them confidence that all is well, because they're weak, they're discouraged of what life end up with a loved one, where the chemo itself disfigure and the person don't even look like a human being. They can't even show it. You could only show the picture and the casket when we're doing the funeral. And I've seen it how it tore people apart. When I got cancer, a few months ago, I buried someone. He was 47 years, and it took him out in 11 months. And the chemo, while he was taking chemo, went into a coma and never come back out, and he was only 47. So when my time came and I had cancer, I said, you ain't touching me. And I thank God a lady came and teach me how to alkaline my blood and restore my immune system. It was expensive, but I went with it. And I thank God I'm alive almost 15 years now. That's basically the end of this, how it is. But most people, that's what it is. They wish to read. Like last week, I spoke to a lady, and she was in Antigua. Her loved one husband is in ICU. Chemo messed them up so bad. He's in ICU with machine. And when she called me, before I could say anything, she's asking me if I have anything to read. And I told her she's making a mistake. I said, don't ask me for nothing to read. Ask the hospital, because I can't sell you nothing. I cannot interfere with someone who are feeding with tubes to tell you go and give them anything. Keep your money. I cannot take money from you. So I cannot help you. So the next step is go and ask the doctors and all of them who have your husband in that position what went wrong. Read up on what they gave him and what went wrong. That's what it is. But for me, if I take her money, I'll be just taking the money just for the sake of. But it's not right to take people money when they're sick and you know you can't help them. I couldn't help them and I didn't touch the money. I said, keep your money and go back to the doctors and find out from them and let them give you literatures of what they give your husband to have him in ICU today. You know, these are things that happens to people every day.
Yeah. Well, we're out of time, but I want to thank you for joining us this morning. I think interesting discussion. For those of you who are viewing the program and you were hearing the discussion with Pastor John, he does have the product, the sugar blocker, and there are other products. It's a whole line of products. It's not just the sugar blocker. There's a weight loss. There's the weight loss. There's the, the weight management, the fat burner. And there is a host of other different flavors and different, what can I call it? Products that deal with different things?
Phytonutrients.
Right, nice, in the package. So call the number on the screen. Pastor John, give them the WhatsApp number.
516-286-7079. That's 1-516-286-7079. If you need my website, I'll text it to you. That's not a problem. It's always available for anyone who wants to study and read. But if you need help, I will help you. God bless you. Have a great day today. And a better tomorrow. Bye-bye.
And I'll see you next week, man. I'll be in St. Vincent, but we'll link up with you in St. Vincent.
Oh, you're going to Vince Tigel, I tell you. They go loot you when they go to bed. They see girl. They say the dirty tasty teaser. It's in Vincent.
All right, Pastor John, take it.
Now one back and saying you're a teaser.
So that is Pastor John on the inside, people. We want to thank him, of course, for joining us this morning. And I got to tell you, yeah, you got to try different things, man. You know what I mean? If something ain't working, try it. Try something different. Before we take the final break and we come back and wrap things up for this morning, I want to remind you about Steel Force Caribbean Limited. Located at number 47, lot 6, Montu Trace in Pinal. And they are your newest choice for steel construction and fabrication, offering full services in engineering, architectural design, structural steel fabrication and erection, pipe details, storage tank details, including fabrication of steel tanks and pipes, all set at API standards. And they offer a wide range of services for residential, commercial, and industrial clients, and extend services to customers here in Trinidad and Tobago and across the Caribbean. So give them a call on 490-2771 or 399-7590. Steel Force Caribbean Limited, reinventing the standards on how we handle steel. Also, I do want to remind you about GNP Pest Control. GNP Pest Control Limited, experts in all types of pest control, ranging from termites to rodents, ants, cockroaches, lawn pests, and much more. They are armed with the latest techniques and technologies, including fumigation for drywood termites. And GNP Pest Control's professionally trained staff are ready to tackle even the most difficult infestations. For a free inspection and quotation, contact them today at 61 to 65 Covine Road in Diego Martin. You could also call them at the office on 227-0835 or 250-8397. And you can email them at jppestcontrol@hotmail.com and let them shield your home or business from pesky pests. And do not forget that Palm Star Promotions, people, they're giving your little star a chance to shine live on national television. It's the 4th annual National Spelling and Vocabulary Challenge, and it's July 12th, Lowlands Mall. All right, primary school and homeschool children, standards 3 to 5, ages 9 to 12 plus, and the top school with the most entries and points walks away with a desktop computer. And there's also tablets, medals, and much more up for grabs. You can buy your Kotese Kotela dictionary at Charon's in Tunapuna, Trin City, San Juan, or Diego Martin, and you'll get 5% off. You can register now by visiting Palm Star Promotions online or calling Auntie Esther on 471-2604. The dress code is no uniforms, dress elegantly casual, and build confidence one word at a time only with Palm Star Promotions. And finally, as we prepare to go to the break here and come back and close, I do want to remind you about Jameson. So we want you to boost your immune system with Jameson immunity products to fight off the seasonal sniffles, such as their cold fighter with Echinacea, vitamin C chews with the honey lemon flavor. And for additional support, you can try the delicious vitamin D3 chews and ultra strength zinc. Chew, fight, and feel amazing with Jameson trusted vitamins and minerals. With that, we take a break. We'll be back to wrap things up. We have a plane to catch, and we're headed off to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Remember, Breaking Dawn will be live from SVG from tomorrow morning. Stay tuned. We're back after this.
Most popular psychic and spiritual healer, Master Santosh Ji. Are you worried about the problems in your life? Are you facing problems in your relationship? Do you have problems in your job or business? Are you facing health issues? Then the only solution. Master Santosh Ji. He is an expert in palm, face, and horoscope reading. Know your future and change the way of your life. He is expert in solving problems related to love, relationship, job, health, finance, sexual, enemy, spiritual problem, many more. He removes all negativity and gives good luck. He is specialist in getting back loved ones and ex-love back. Get an effective solution for all your problems. Call Master Santosh Ji at +1 868-384-3844. Located in all over Trinidad and Tobago.
If you're planning an event, make us your first option. At Reality of a Dream, we can make your event memorable. We can assist in planning your corporate functions, moderate gatherings, family occasions, christenings, and more. We also cater for weddings and other special occasions. Our newly renovated venue includes a majestic entryway, which takes you along a path to a fantastic indoor facility which can accommodate up to 80 dining guests. A recently completed fully air-conditioned, beautifully designed wing, which maintains the theme and flow of Reality of a Dream, adds 30 extra seats for dining guests. In total, we can now seat a total of 110 dining guests. Come see for yourself the splendor that awaits you. Walk along the path and make your way to the breathtaking, well-maintained swimming pool and gazebo, and also the entire grounds of Reality of a Dream. We've also updated the Dream Suite, which comes with all modern conveniences, where guests can enjoy the feeling of an exquisite retreat overlooking the entire area. Reality of a Dream caters to professional events. We provide secured parking for guests, so call us at 332-6880 and ask for Harriet, located at number 15 Moses Avenue, San Juan. Reality of a Dream, making dreams come true every day.
Introducing Open Minds Primary School Lessons 100% online. Get quality education from the comfort of your home. Affordable, expert-led online tuition to help your child succeed. Register today. Call or WhatsApp 388-6635 or visit www.openminds.education.
All right, people, so we must leave you, literally. Not just from studio, but we're leaving the country. We are headed to the airport. We got to catch a plane and be off to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We are going to be joined by Ezzy. What's going on? Ezzy, man. Ezzy and Ricky. We coming. And Ralph. Don't worry, Ralph. I ain't coming with no Monopoly money. All right? We ain't walking with no Monopoly money, Ralph. All right, but St. Vincent and the Grenadines always been very warm and friendly to us at Synergy TV, and we're glad to be back in Vincy Mass this year. We missed it for a few years. We are back. We're going to be back with a bang. People, Breaking Dawn will be live as normal. So all the topics, all the issues, we're going to bring it to you tomorrow morning like normal, like if we're in Trinidad. All right, we're going to be taking phone calls. We have the WhatsApp line, so we're going to be taking phone calls like normal. So the show will go on. It's just that outside of Breaking Dawn, we have certain responsibilities and obligations to fulfill for Vincy Mass. So we're going to be in some of the events. We're going to be on the island. We're going to promoting St. Vincent and the Grenadines and some of the spots that you could check out when you go to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So we're going to be all over. All right, and then we're going to package those things and bring it back to you on Breaking Dawn the next day. And Breaking Dawn will run Thursday and Friday. That's tomorrow and Friday. And then, well, I don't know what they have planned for us for the weekend on Saturday and Sunday. But then we enter into Monday and Tuesday next week, which will be Carnival Monday and Tuesday, because they do Monday and Tuesday. And we're going to be doing Breaking Dawn as normal with a little twist. We'll try to get some, what we call it? Some little features, highlights of what is taking place, the madness that's taking place during the carnival that morning, because they have the Juve and everything on. So Monday and Tuesday we will conduct business as usual. I don't know, I'll have to get some sleep, boy. Are we getting sleep, boy? And then Wednesday we got the final show in St. Vincent and Grenadines, and after the show, we got to get straight to the airport to be back in Trinidad and Tobago to give you a show on Thursday morning back in studio. So that's how it rolls. If you sent a birthday greeting today, we're going to do it tomorrow. Fear not. All right, but until tomorrow, people, we bid you farewell, and we'll be back. And the next time you see us, it will be from SVG. Yeah, man, on vacation. We out. Good morning.